sense, you must demonstrate a before and after to do this, because other than that, they're going to have all these things come up, and they're thinking he's weird. And so the first, let me have somebody up here. BG, come on up. She as soon as I came up here, BG stood up. I should have figured that out. So you have to
I said I needed it.
Okay, that's okay. It's like, so the first thing is you've been told, you put them into the face up, it's Psoas, so you know you're going to have to go through this procedure. So the first thing, you get a yes and no, then you check the legs individually, that leg turns, and that leg doesn't turn whatsoever. Okay, so for those of you who are writing, look up again. I did a single leg check, and this one turns, but this one doesn't. It's just not turning. So soon as, and so then once you do that step, come up to her tensa fascia lata on the left, and there's really nothing. And interestingly, her tensa fascia lata on the right is not painful. But I checked it. So you check individual legs, and then come up and check their TFLs. You know how to do this. This is you've got from your training. So remember, yesterday I said find. BG, I'm going to just put this on your abdomen for a second.
Okay.
So this is sort of where we're at. I'm just going to raise it. So this point right here and that point right there is called the ischial, the spine of the ischium. And so when we touch, we find the location, and you see, look at how if I drop from this point right into there, there's that little gully. Can you see that gully right there? That's where you can pick up the psoas muscle as it runs through that area and becomes the iliopsoas. So touch the ilium, and then if I drop off into that area, it's like a rope. It's thick, okay? And I drop off the iliospine, and she doesn't even move here. So now she's going, something's up. This is what I find is most demonstrable to clients, pain. One side is not painful, another side is. There's the conversation about timing, there's the conversation about stuck in defense. Whatever program's running from her biofield into this area, it's present time consciousness. Whatever program's running from the biofield into that is not present time consciousness. Does that make sense so far? It's a memory. You're even responding to present time consciousness, and she's horizontal. There's no need for her to have a tension in that tendon right now. There's absolutely no physiologic need except for memory, because the other side is getting the message, the sensory motor connection. Does that make sense with you guys so far? So we know that that's there. So then what you do is you find your sternum, and you come down what's called the linea alba. Just come down the central point, and you're just touching. I'm at the belly button level, and there's nothing going on then there. I worked on somebody else. Remember the first person I worked on the other day had a big old knot. You had some tension there. So then if I'm about her belly button level, so if you take on either side from the ilial spine to the belly button, and you bisect the area, you come to the midpoint. See how I'm just touching from the ilial spine to the belly button, ilial spine to the belly button. At the midpoint, right in there and there, a lot of times you'll find some tension. She doesn't have any. But you'll see, like when Cheryl did this on me the other day, the whole left side of my abdomen, I'm like, oh my gosh, does that hurt, right? And then she worked on it, and then it was like 90% better. It's 90% better. So again, you check one leg, you check the other leg. Note what you're finding. Then you come up to the TFLs. Note what you're finding. If you find something tender, poke on them, because this has got to be a before and after because of the posture you're going to put him in. It's a vulnerable. And then what you do is you find the ilial spine, drop off, and palpate. I'm not going to poke on her because it hurts. Note it. So far the only thing that I know is going on with her is this leg is restricted, and there's the iliopsoas tendon right here, right? And we talked about how this is the muscle of the soul. Find her sternum, and you come down what's called the linea alba. I don't find anything. Come into that area between the belly button and the ilial spine is here and here. And On this side, you would find the appendix or the ileocecal valve, and there's nothing. There's just nothing going on. Okay? So normally you would already know the word, because you'd have them go from the face down position to the face up. You'd know the word, you'd know the number. So so let's see. So I'm gonna go easily for the map. It's just easier for me. Okay, the number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the number is 5. It's her sacral chakra. So the number is 5. Just please remember that for me. So that's in the level of willingness, acceptance, reason, love. It's the God view, so it's loving. So we know it's 5, and we know it's loving. It's 5 because you would have known you would have had a positive word and a number face down, right? So I just have to find something to work so I can do this. So it's the eyes are open. Okay, so the eyes are open.
You didn't do psoas yet. Stretch.
Huh?
You didn't do psoas stretch yet.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so but I just remember the eyes are open. It's looking straight down. It's loving the number 5, and it's holding the breath. So this is what I sort of know. When she was in a condition of looking at God as a loving God, she got bushwhacked. How do I know? Because it's holding the breath. Something happened. Because when you're holding the breath, there's a that's what that is. Right? You get punched in the stomach. If you've ever been punched in the stomach, you get the wind knocked out of you once, you know what it feels like. It's a proverbial punch in the stomach. It's very visceral. That's what happened to her at some point in time in her existence, whether she realizes it or not. Okay, so what we have to do is I have to activate that program. So bend your knees, and then put the soles of your feet together gently, because you have to watch out with guys, because guys don't have as much flexibility in the pelvic area as gals, and so guys will cramp. Their hamstrings will go right into cramping. They'll just go, ah! It's real, and then you go, you have a hamstring problem, don't you? Or you have a low back problem, don't you? And it's not, it's the psoas. Okay? So lift your hips up, and I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3. 23. Relax. So that's when her system pops energetically. And this is what you must have. Both of her legs lock up, and her left leg goes short. Both legs must, I got a pause locker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even. I'm going to leave her in pause lock, because if I go too long and talk, I'll have to just go stretch that psoas and bring it up to the surface again. So once you put her into the psoas position, and you're muscle testing, however you muscle test, if some people muscle test, however you keep asking, it's like muscle testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, it goes weak, okay? Whether you feel it in your guts, however you feel it, because I'm not going to tell you how to do it. I'm just showing you how I just did it multiple different ways. I was doing it this way and this way, right? But when you're counting, a number will hit, and it means the system's popped. Don't go further than that. If you go further than that, they're going to start to go into shaking and crying, and it doesn't have to be. But once the system pops, you have to come down here, and you've got to get a bilateral leg lock up with the left short leg. And if you say, well, what if it's not? You come right back up here, you put them in position, and you go through the whole process again. So Cheryl was working on Dr. Cheryl Lee. And she went through, and what did you get to 50 the first time? She got to 90 the first time?
90, like 1 or 92.
And then she came back down here, and it wasn't a bilateral lockup with the left short leg.
It was a right short.
It was a right short leg. So what we want to do is we want to put them into the colicky baby syndrome. In BEST, remember we heard about that in BEST, is the colicky baby is when you have a left short leg. It means the energy is running in the reverse order of what's going on. And anytime Dr. Morton was working on somebody and all of a sudden that left leg went short, he's like, we've got a big one going on. A left short leg means the energy is running in the reverse order. So we want to put them into a posture to bring the colicky baby to the surface.
So if you don't get that response, you just have to do it again until
Go
you
up
get
and do
that
it again.
response. And you're
So
going to do it
let's just say I
longer.
did what I did. I got 23, right? I came back down here and one of the legs was flopping in, or the right leg was short, not the left. You'd have to come up to here and do the whole thing again. Come back down here, and it'll probably be double locked with the left short leg. Now you're ready for the next step.
Are their hands position important?
Yeah,
I know she
yeah.
did it naturally because she knows how to
just
do
like
it.
that. So you're in a posture of surrender. So
So you have their
when
palms
they-
up at their side.
So you drop the arms at the side, you bend the knees, open the legs, push up, bring your hips up. So you have to get the eye position, open, close, you already know the number and you know the word. And I found it was holding a breath. So this is the same thing. Is everybody following me?
The number and order from the ERC, right?
Mhm.
Yes, correct. Because remember, you've already treated them face down. So you just have to get eyes open, eyes closed, up, down, left, right, diagonal, and I believe it was 5 loving down, and it's holding the breath. Okay, 5 loving down, holding the breath. Take a deep breath, hold your breath. Good. Relax. Lift your head up.